Hey friends, it is good to see you. It's July 6th on Read Through the Word. Hope everybody's doing great today. We are digging into or dug into, depending on if you've already done your reading, maybe four Psalms, five Psalms. It's hard to choose which ones to take a deeper dive into. It really is. I will have to say, probably Psalm 1 is one of my favorite all-time Psalms. And I've taught on it before. I've probably taught on Psalm 2. I have a study on all of them, but as far as read through the Word, and I'm not sure that I've taught on Psalm 71, but I had written in my notes Psalm 71:7. My life is an example to many because you have been my strength and my protection. And I wrote a question to myself, which usually kind of generates the lesson that I facilitate for the day, because I share that question with you most days. Some days it's a little personal, and I don't share it, but I actually, let's see, there were two questions. Does my life marvel about me or marvel about God? And do I deflect glory so I can reflect God? I shared three different translations of our key verse today. Amplified Complete Jewish Bible is the CJB, and the ESV uses that word. I have been a portent or a marvel to many, but you are my strong refuge. Now, if you'll notice, I'll tie my questions back in, I promise. If you'll notice, this is not a psalm that's dated. It is not assigned to any psalmist, a particular person. It is not placed in a specific period of time. Most of these, I think all of these that were, no, not all of them. Some of them do have particular notations about maybe who they were for or who wrote them. But a lot of these here at the end of our study of Psalms won't have that kind of information about it. But when you do a deeper dive, you find out lots of different things. And that's part of our job here. It seems like every day I'm needing a tissue, and I apologize for that. But doing the deeper dive is really our job. We want to encourage you to do deeper dives for yourself. And a lot of times we say, this is what I found, you dig for yourself. But one of the things that I discovered is that many commentators, biblical scholars, agree that this was a Psalm of David. And that they placed it, it's a prayer that they placed in his latter years, possibly during or after the crisis with Absalom. Now, and his rebellion. If you are just hopping in to read through the Word for 2023 and you don't know who Absalom is, I'm sure you know who David is, but maybe you don't know who Absalom was. Absalom was a son of David who sought out to overthrow him as king after he was king of all of Israel. And he led a rebellion called Absalom's Rebellion, is how it's referred to in the Bible. But regardless, since there's no really data to support that, actual dates and things, archives, papers, whatever they might look for to validify or solidify their findings. They're just saying, hey, this is a psalm that is written by someone who has followed God and they're in their later years. And I thought of a lot of people that I know actually that have followed God and their whole life, and they are in their latter years. And it actually made me smile. I hope that you are in a place where you in your life know people that you can go, wow, I have watched them follow God their whole life. And I'll be honest with you, celebration of life services, I don't like to call them funerals. If they're believers, I like to call them celebration of life services. A celebration of life service for someone who is who has served God their whole lives is just a beautiful thing. It really is. I hope that if you haven't had the opportunity, that you will one day have the opportunity just to go and hear about someone that you know and love, and they have served God well. And I've had an occasion to go to many of those, and it's been a blessing to me. Charles Spurgeon says this: we have here the prayer of the aged believer who is in holy confidence of faith. Wow. Strengthened by a long and remarkable experience, pleads against the enemies and asks further blessing for himself. Holy confidence of faith. I pray that that is what is developed here through our teachings and read through the Word. But as all things, we want to ask, what do we notice about God? What does our life say about God? And I just put lots of questions here. And I don't intend to read all of them, but I do want you to possibly pause today sometime. But what does my life say about God? Does my life demonstrate that God is dependable? Because I have depended on him and others have seen that. And maybe recount the times that you have depended on God and have others said something to you about that you exemplified God and you deflected glory and praise to reflect God in that moment. Does it demonstrate that God is trustworthy because you've trusted him? Is it evident to others that you trust God? That you tell others that God is trustworthy? That you tell others with your life, by what you say and what you do, that God is dependable? And does it demonstrate, your life, demonstrate that God is worthy? Because I have continued, or you have continued, to devote your life to him. He's worthy, and he's so worthy. God is so worthy that I devote daily to him time in the scriptures, that I devote opportunity to him, that I have to serve, to give, to submit, to love, to care for, to spend time with him, but not only him, but other people. Because we're first and foremost called to love him with all of our heart, mind, soul, and strength, and then love others as I love myself. So am I demonstrating who God is? Love, mercy, grace, service, kindness. And I know service is not one of the fruit of the Spirit. It just kind of came out. But am I demonstrating all the fruit that God demonstrates and has demonstrated in my life to other people, so other people can see God? And then I just pulled out some questions there for verses just for you to look at. But again, these are like questions that you can put on a refrigerator. You know how you put magnets on your refrigerator on things. Do I demonstrate that God is dependable? Do I demonstrate that God is trustworthy? Do I demonstrate that God is worthy? Do others see me depending on God? Do others see me trusting God? And do others see me devoting my life to God? That's the life that exemplifies God. And that's this person, this aged believer. And not only does it his life demonstrated this, but he's dared in holy confidence to say, hey, what you've been doing so far, will you continue doing that in my life? Yes, Lord, let that be so. We'll see you next time on Read Through the Word.